Since early times, humans have this fascination of making traveling easier for them. First, we invented the wheel, then the carts, wagons, and eventually steam power and internal combustion engines. This innovation continued to be in process with electric cars, bikes, and other vehicles.
The idea of self-driving cars or flying cars that you only saw in movies is not imaginary anymore. Soon, it's gonna be living reality rather than a science fiction. By 2050, space travel will be feasible and a common thing to do. How transport is going to look like in the future, and what are the current progression in the same direction? How are we going to push our boundaries with the help of advancement in transportation technology are going to be the highlights of this video.
So sit back and enjoy as we list down some of the latest in process developments that are going to make our travel much smoother and far better in the future.
The transportation system in the future will be very distinct from our established systems. We will see flying cars, self-driving cars, passenger drones, Hyperloop One system that is projected to reach a top speed of 760 miles per hour. And with the Starship and the super heavy rockets, most journeys will taking less than 30 minutes, with access to anywhere in the world in an hour or less. The transport technology is evolving at a much slower rate than the certain other sciences, such as information technology, biotechnology, and nanotechnology. As an example, the world record set for human speed was in 1969, a complete 37 years ago, when Thomas Stafford, John Young, and Gene Cernan flew at 24,790 miles per hour on Apollo 10. While there is a lot of discussion about traveling at a speed that exceeds the speed of light, but very little effort is actually being put into it.
Transport technology, however, is set to move faster in the coming years with the advent of two radically new technologies: frictionless vehicles and binary power.
Throughout the history, we have discovered that the two key guiding forces of civilization are freedom and the power. While the current automotive technology gives us the freedom to drive us as fast or slow as our vehicle will take us and control our timing and direction, we are still limited to driving on the ground, and we have a hornet's nest of laws to contend with in terms of speed, flow, and operation. In the near future, automobile companies will concentrate on fully autonomous vehicles where people can snap or talk where they want to go, and the car will automatically take them there.
The availability of this feature will be a huge benefit for the automobile industry, as elderly people, kids too young to drive, and the visually, mentally, and physically impaired people can also be independent.
About 2030, we will see the commercialization of the first friction-free, non-moving pieces of flying vehicles, which will be considered by many to be the ultimate freedom system. Like the transition from print to electronic in the field of information technology, the study of traditional mechanics and traditional aerodynamics will be replaced by modern physics regulating the movement of vehicles.
Some of the examples of frictionless vehicles and binary power are: number 1, Hyperloops.
There has been a lot of hype about this futuristic pod designed by the California-based Hyperloop transportation technology, Hyperloop TT, that demonstrate the super fast Hyperloop travel is on its way, offering a speed of up to 1223 km per hour or 760 miles per hour for city-to-city travel, faster than a commercial jet. Hyperloop capsules would achieve their high speed by slipping through sealed tubes from which much of the air was extracted by vacuum pumps, thereby decreasing drag. The capsules are levitated just above the track using magnets, reducing friction, and driven by a linear induction motor that also uses magnetic forces. Hyperloop has been celebrated as the first modern mode of transport in more than 100 years. But major technical problems remain to be solved, such as difficulty of maintaining vacuum in tubes over such long distances.
Number 2, Volvo Vera truck.
Despite its sleek, futuristic looks, Vera is not just a concept car. Volvo is collaborating with DFDS, a shipping and logistic firm, on a system that will use these driverless trucks to transport goods 5 kilometers from a transport hub to a port terminal in Gothenburg, Sweden, a route that runs on public roads. It is expected to be up and running within 5 years. Vera navigates with onboard cameras and a device that creates a 3D laser map of surroundings. There is also security backup, which allows the control center personnel to take control remotely if appropriate. It will be used for repetitive journeys as of now.
Number 3. Cora Air Taxi.
How much did you spend in the traffic thinking or imagining that you could fly above all that? Well, Cora, a flying electric taxi, may be the solution. It is being piloted autonomously, which means that almost everyone could fly in without training. 12 lift fans take Cora off the ground vertically until it flies like an aeroplane using a single propeller at the rear. This means that they can somehow exit the car park or the roof of the office building and take their 2 passengers home, as long as they live within a radius of 100 km. Kitty Hawk Corporation, the California-based company behind Cora, envisages that you would book a trip aboard much like you do with an airline or a rideshare. But how soon we will able to do that is unclear. Cora still needs regulatory approval before it operates commercially.
Number 4. Mercedes-Benz Future Bus.
Bus rides are set to make transportation in 21st century. The Mercedes-Benz Future Bus is equipped with a GPS system, cameras and radar so that it can drive itself along its path, stopping to pick up passengers along the way. All the driver has to do is look out for threats with a dab on the brake or a tap of a steering wheel. Remarkable is its ability to chat with traffic light using its vehicle to infrastructure system so that it can figure out when they are about to shift, slowing down if necessary. All of this technology is intended to provide a seamless service to travelers and alleviate the burden on drivers.
Talking about all this makes me wonder where this change will be a good one or bad one. AI will be everywhere around the world in 50 years, such as your cars and your homes, by devices like Alexa and Siri. But 2050 AI could be so advanced that our cultures, our world could literally be run by them in a logistic and computing sense, or like in the movie Terminator where humans are obsolete. And believe it or not, we are closer to that than you think. This could be the beginning of the end, really. Is Judgment Day inevitable? Maybe, may not be. It depends on how far we can go with the AI and how much it can control us. Please let us know what do you think about this topic. If you have any feedback, please let us know in the comment section below. And do not forget to share and subscribe to the channel for awesome scientific videos. Bye bye, tata, hasta la vista.